I'm going to move this closer, because last time the audio was too low.
Thanks you for doing that at the end of the video. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Nick.
I'm Nick.
And today is a very special episode.
If you haven't noticed already, we're not exactly in our usual spot.
And the old table is back.
Yeah.
Well, the semi-old table.
I kind of like this table, to be honest. So
now I don't, because it's been water damaged.
Yeah,
that's all nasty.
True.
Ugh.
Okay, about that. This is going to be an episode about a little thing we like to call Murphy's Law. And it's not a theory. It's a law.
So what exactly is Murphy's Law?
Everything that can go wrong will. Okay, so E3 was an interesting week. We had this whole plan. We were going to watch each live press conference, and then we were going to do a video explaining everything that happened. And that's basically what we did, except it didn't go down quite the way we expected. We miscalculated the dates of E3. We found out a little bit too late, 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, that it was Sunday and Monday, right?
Oh, that was Monday.
Monday and Tuesday. We flipped out. I had some family party to go to. I have this party, but it shouldn't be more than 2 hours. The first conference started at 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock rolls by, I'm at the party. The party's nowhere near over. So I run up to like this little kid's playhouse, little tippy top of like where the slide is and everything, and I'm sitting there and there's these kids yelling and screaming around me, and I got my phone here. I'm trying to watch the live coverage. I got a napkin with like a broken pencil that I'm literally chewing the end of so I can write notes so that I can talk about this video. Like, we leave at 5 o'clock, and 2 minutes after we leave, she hits the curb, tire pops, it's blown out. That put us back a whole nother hour. We're waiting for AAA to come.
We're losing it, you know. And then we go in, we finally get everything set up. There's things going wrong left and right, timing, getting to work, going to class, you know, it's just throwing everything off. All the time frames are wrong.
You had a doctor's appointment at some point, I think.
Yeah, and then we had to cancel that, and that was crazy.
We filmed the videos. We said everything about what we saw at E3. At this point, I slept over his house. We've been doing this for about 48 hours straight. I went home, I had about a 3-hour window, and I'm like, okay, I have to bump out like 3 or 4 videos as fast as I can. I've never done it as fast. Usually it takes me about 3 hours. And we filmed in a, 30i?
It was too much for his computer,
like
and it was in a different format.
It was a different format.
He couldn't adjust it, and it just
I couldn't convert the files. The file type was not readable on my computer. We had to replace all of the footage with new footage. We had to reshoot everything on his phone.
Yep.
And
I think it was just ridiculous.
And then, at that point, all of the videos were a day late. It was terrible.
That's where we first came up with the idea of Murphy's Law.
Right.
But we moved past it. We thought it was a growing experience. So yesterday comes around. First of all, I wake up and I'm already running late, so I didn't even eat breakfast. So I'm headed to work and I'm volunteering at a summer camp. We take the kids all on a little trip down port. I'm playing Pokemon Go on the way, and I'm catching a bunch of Pokemon, and I'm having fun. And then I get a text message from my mom, and it says that the basement flooded. And I'm thinking the basement of her office flooded, and I'm gonna have to leave, and I'm gonna have to go there. Her coworker comes, picks us up, so I still haven't eaten yet, right before lunch, and I pick us up, and she says, "Oh no, not the office, your house flooded." And I'm like, oh God, because recently, as you know, the Man Cave shoots in the Man Cave, and that is in my basement. So everything I own is in that room. And there's like 6 inches of water, so I run home, I rip off my shoes, and I run into the basement, and I just, everything's flooded. I'm trying to get what is there out of the water. I had a bunch of collector's guidebook. All my shoes are completely soaked except for one pair.
We could show some images on screen. We've got piles and piles of stuff that
we just had to empty everything out as fast as we could. We Serve Pro couldn't even get to us for like an hour or two because they have other calls and stuff like that. We had another large pump that we emptied that filled with about 12 gallons of water. We emptied that at least 24 times. Serve Pro did show up, and they pumped out about 600 gallons of water. We had to rip up the carpets in certain areas, rip out some of the flooring, and just move it out. I had to take everything out of the basement, and we're still not even done. And we get outside, and all of a sudden, it starts pouring rain.
Well, everything that we had just taken out of the basement,
out of the water,
now it's drying or
it's
dry.
trying to dry.
Trying to dry.
We're all just ranting, running all around, trying to cover what's there to make sure it doesn't get damaged.
We've got some photos of that too.
And it was just ridiculous. And then we finally get it to everything covered, and within a minute it stops.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh,
we got the tarps covered, everything.
It's just crazy. We went to the store. We were trying to pick up some ingredients for a new episode that we're planning on doing, and of course, they didn't have any of the ingredients.
Right. The recipe called for cayenne pepper, and they had basically every assortion of pepper that you could have
Except
needed.
for cayenne.
Except for cayenne. They had one section of cayenne after about 5 minutes of looking for it, and it was all out.
So right now the entire man cave is completely gutted. Everything that was in there is pretty much in our in our TV room. There is more stuff that I need to move. Everything's just torn apart. Hence we're out here because the basement's a mess.
It'll probably be a couple weeks before we get it back, so expect a few episodes to be in a little bit of a weird location, maybe here.
Who knows?
Maybe
We might,
else. I don't
maybe
know
here, maybe there, maybe his house for once. I don't know. Today, I woke up early. He was asleep. He was exhausted. I woke up, and the second I go to get out of my bed, a cord pulls my glass off the table and it shatters on the ground. I had to take out a bunch of heavy stuff out the back door before Serve Pro showed up a second time because when they showed up the first time, they didn't even have all the equipment that they needed. They were like, we don't have enough yet. We'll come back tomorrow with the rest of the fans and dehumidifiers and stuff. And I'm like,
damn. That's crazy.
We get up.
We had like several people. Like I was helping. You know,
we had a bunch of
sisters, and their friends.
We're working on it today, and we're getting everything out, and we're sorting it, and it rains again.
Yeah, it rained again.
And
it wasn't forecast to rain.
I've already had to throw out a bunch of books. I have to throw out my bed. I have to throw out a cabinet things. I have to get rid of other stuff.
All right, so omens set aside. I want there to be a learning message from this, though.
Valuables and stuff at least 8 inches off the ground in case of a flood. It was over 1,000 gallons of water that we pumped out.
Messed up, man. I want to talk to the viewers about what they should do if they find themselves in a Murphy's Law situation. So let me tell you something. 2 things I think both of us did in both of the stories we told you.
Take a nap.
Take a nap. Take a break, take a nap. And that doesn't mean take 5, that means take 25 or take whatever you need so that you just don't go crazy. Number 2, be optimistic, right? The best way I can be optimistic, and Nick here, is we look at this as an opportunity.
The basement had so much stuff, and it was a bit of a hoarding basement, so they're going to have to go through the stuff, and who knows what we'll do now. Maybe we'll update the man cave. Maybe we'll make it better.
Yeah.
Bleh.
It's been a long day.
Yep, and it's not over yet.
No, it's not over yet.
So Murphy's Law, it's not just a theory, it's the law.
And as always,
stay manly.
If you liked what you saw, click the subscribe below. And as always, folks, stay manly. Don't rise up.
I'm so tired.